Well, Norwich City are in a whole world of bother. Norwich City still yet to win in the Championship this season. The latest defeat away to Hull City. Jack Reeve, Talk Norwich City, back to review the action. Look, let's take a look at OneFootball's analysis of the game using the statistics on their page. The link to download the app's down in the description below. 70% possession for Norwich, 18 shots on goal, 12 of those on target, shot accuracy of 66%. Norwich City once again dominating possession, shots, all of the kind of key metrics that you'd expect, expected goals, and yet still losing, and that's a real concern. You can download OneFootball. The link to it is in the description below. Well worth a visit. Look, Norwich City are in a whole heap of problems at the moment, and it's incredibly concerning. I went into this game confident, as I did against Cardiff, as I did against Wigan, and maybe that wasn't justified. I just had looked at our pre-season form, I looked at our team on paper, I looked at our manager, and particularly going into today's game, I'd looked at the performance levels against Wigan. I thought we were unfortunate in that game. I thought that Norwich City's performance merited a victory, and yet still we found a way to lose today. It's typical Norwich City that we started incredibly well. First 10 minutes, we had probably 5 or 6 good opportunities. 2, I would say, should have been a goal. And you get through that without a goal, and the devil inside of your head is going, you're going to come to regret this. You're going to come to regret this. And there's no real logic to that. You would expect a team that has started well to continue in that fashion, continue to press, and eventually take chances. But I think as Norwich fans, we've been ground down to a level that you know that if you don't take your good moments, the other team will punish you in some way. The first Hull goal was a complete calamity between Max Aarons and Big Andy, who I would say have been 2 of the best performers this season. Max Aarons tries to clear it; it comes off of Big Andy, and it goes into the back of the net off Oscar Estupinan, who then went on to score their second goal as well. Right before half time, it's 0-0 at that stage. If you go into half time 0-0, you've probably been the better side. You come out in the second half, you hope to get a goal. Maybe you go on to win the game, but it just comes at such a crucial time, and you're then going into the first half break going, we've been here before, and it often doesn't end well. Norwich come out, they huff and they puff, a couple of changes made. Jakob Sorensen goes off injured, which is just typical. We now don't have a fit left back at the squad, which you now have to go out and sign a left back. There was talk from Dean Smith in the week. Even if this injury isn't serious to Jakob Sorensen, even if it's 2 weeks, you cannot function for the next 2 months relying on solely one left back who arguably isn't a left back in Jakob Sorensen. So that's a huge concern, to add insult to kind of the already shocking day for the Canaries. Josh Sargent comes on for Milo Rashica. Rashica should be utterly ashamed of his performances so far this season. He is a player who we paid a premium for. He is a player who has played at a very decent level across Europe and has come into the second tier of English football and stunk the place out. He should be utterly ashamed of what he's given so far. There is absolutely no excuses for that. Josh Sargent comes on and does absolutely nothing. We should probably expect that from Josh Sargent, who once again, much like Milo Rashica, we paid a premium for, we're yet to see a return. Hull go 2-0 up, and at this stage you're thinking, like, what can we possibly do? The one positive of the game was probably Marcelino Núñez, who's looked promising since his introduction to English football. Scores a brilliant free kick, could have got a free kick late on in the game. He's looked good, gives us a hope. Aaron Ramsey nearly scores twice. One's cleared off the line, one he puts over the bar from 2 yards out. Norwich go on to lose the game 2-1. Look, I'm at a stage now, I think that the logic inside of my head is saying, look, Jack, calm down. We're only 3 games in. Yes, we've only got a point on the board. Yes, we're sitting bottom of the table. There's still a very long way to go. In a couple of weeks, if you put a few wins together, you're in a position where you're probably in the top 6 again. The Championship is topsy-turvy. And I must say, performance levels on the whole haven't been too bad. We've created chances. Defensively, we've looked okay in terms of the general themes of the game. Yes, we've now given away 4 goals, all of them probably down to our own issue, and I get that's a part of defending. But I've kind of looked at these performances and gone, they're not terrible. Like, they're okay. We're just now not winning football matches. The problem is we've got a large sample size to work from under Dean Smith. We've had over half a season in the Premier League. We've now 3 games into the Championship. We've had a cup game in there where we tried our best to lose it. And I'm looking at some of the players, in particular the big money signings in Milo Rashica, Josh Sargent. Of course, Christos Jolis has now gone out on loan. Just looking at the lineup from today, like, not too many star performers in there. The midfield still worries me hugely. I don't think, although I said I wanted Kenny McLean to start, he did start. He once again gave the ball away a lot. Is he up to Championship standard? The jury's out on that one. Kieran Dowell, not really, setting off fireworks. I'm still not too worried about the defence, which sounds mental considering we've conceded 4 goals. And I kind of get the arguments around Timu Pukki now. He's still yet to score this season. Looks slightly off. I think we can all agree we've probably seen the best of Timu Pukki. I think there's still goals left in him, but he's not getting chances, and that's the big worry for me in this Dean Smith era. We had a season and a bit, or 3 quarters of a season, and whatever you want to say regarding Dean Smith, and we're still yet to see an attacking fluidity. Now, I know we've gone from Daniel Farke to Dean Smith. That's one extreme to another, but that worries me considerably. And we are now in a stage where Dean Smith is under considerable pressure. And I think, if we're all being mature here, we kind of know which way this goes. Once the fans start to turn, it's incredibly difficult to get back from that. And I think Dean Smith and Craig Shakespeare are now in that position. Now, Norwich's start to the season has of course been poor, and I think what amplifies that is the fact it's been a relatively easy start on paper fixtures wise. We've been up against a Cardiff side and a Wigan side who will expect to be nearer the bottom of the table than mid-table this season. Hull are a slightly unpredictable outfit to look at, and I think they've gone top after today's win, but we should be beating Hull. They kind of just knew how to play us, and I think that's what worries me is we're still yet to play a good side, a genuine good Championship side. I'm looking at Burnley and Watford after last night's game. They look kind of levels apart from us at the moment, which is a huge concern. The likes of Sheffield United and Middlesbrough and teams like that who are good at this level worry me hugely. So Norwich are in a precarious position of, we're now bottom of the Championship table. I know it's only 3 games in, but performances have kind of warranted that. But I don't know what to do. Do you sack Dean Smith? I mean, it wouldn't be out of the blue if it happened. I think Dean Smith probably has a bit of time left. I think he's probably got until maybe October, if I'm being honest. Next week is huge. You've got 2 home games. And this is where I'm kind of confused, because Norwich City could quite easily put in 2 performances, much like Wigan and much like Hull, and come out with 2 wins next week. A few things go your way, and you're suddenly on the receiving end of 2 victories. It could also quite easily go the other way. Millwall are a good side at this level. Huddersfield have got off to a surprisingly good start considering their squad. You suddenly pick up 2 defeats or 2 draws at home against those 2 sides, and you are in serious trouble in terms of, if you're Dean Smith and you're looking at your future at Norwich City Football Club. I don't think the blame lies entirely on Shakespeare and Smith. I think they have their issues. I think some of the players really need to look at themselves in the mirror and go, like, what am I doing? I think you often get this when you're relegated from the Premier League into the Championship, of players thinking they're good enough for the Premier League when they're really not, and then not applying themselves at Championship level and equally looking poor. I'm looking firmly in the eyes of Milo Rashica when I say those sentences. He is a good football player, and we are yet to see anything from him at this level, and that is an unforgivable trait to have. He is not applying himself, and that really frustrates me. And I know there will be people going, well, Jack, you wanted Hernandez to start and he was poor. Yes, he was poor. Yes, I know Hernandez was poor. His end product is still leaving a lot. to be desired. So, look, Norwich are still yet to win in the Championship this season. I genuinely believed that after the performances against Birmingham and Wigan, we would win today. I was so confident. And I was against Wigan and I was against Cardiff, and I'm yet to see a performance that replicates my confidence, which is a concern. Because we have a team on paper that are good enough to win at this level. And on paper, we have a manager who's good enough to win at this level, and yet we're not seeing that. So that is a huge, huge concern. And for those that are Smith out, I empathise with you. I understand where you're coming from. I wouldn't say I'm at that point yet. I think I'm in a state of confusion surrounding where our future lies in terms of management, but I completely get why you would be. And equally, if you're Smith in, I get it. So that's very much me sitting on the fence. I still do believe that this squad is good enough to put a run together, and I don't think it takes much at this level for things to turn. Equally, you're also 2 games away from it being utter mayhem. So there we are. Well done to Hull. They've started the season well, and I think there's exciting times up in Hull. Clearly a bit of money swilling around. Exciting times, certainly more exciting than what's going on at Carrow Road at the moment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with me? Do you think I'm talking nonsense? Probably the latter. And let me know. OneFootball is available to download in the description below. Big thanks to them for supporting our review content this season. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all again next week. Hopefully it's a bit brighter. See you later, everyone. Bye-bye.